All right, we're live.
Welcome back. So today we are going to continue to talk about some current events and the effects that that has on doing business. And of course, everyone knows that this week there's a new travel ban. But I think what we don't always understand about these things is there's a lot of fine print. And so there are a lot of professionals who may have advanced degrees from other countries or have pursued advanced degrees in the US and have been contributing on a really high level and are now being forced to go back to their countries and are having a really hard time continuing to be employed here, in part because a lot of companies are finding that they're very restricted in the visas that they have access to and the processing time.
Yeah, and I think we kind of touched on this in one of our earlier videos. It's also problematic that a lot of times these people are actually educated here in the States, right? So they either come here in high school or come over here to go to university. They get jobs, via visa immediately out of a very, high profile school. And, now we're talking about sending them back to wherever, whether that's China or India, wherever they're from. And, along with them, it's not just the person that's going back, it's all the knowledge that they've retained and the expertise. They're now taking that back home,
Yeah.
and helping somebody else's economy, right? So, while we can talk about our new kind of nationalist direction and all of that, we're bleeding knowledge through policies like this.
Yeah, and this is something that normally companies just have to deal with in terms of retaining talent and making it a desirable place to work, and also retaining that knowledge when people retire as well, so that it doesn't leave the organization. But now this is an altogether new challenge where it could even be people that they've been investing in the company and that they've been mentoring or that started with an internship, and now they can't get a visa. So I think it's a problem in the sense that one of the number one desires and challenges of any organization, whether it's a startup or a large corporation, is attracting and retaining talent. And when the policies of any given country operate in contradiction to that, then what do the companies do? Well, makes them less likely to want to do business here.
Yeah, well, and given everything that's going on politically right now, specifically with deregulation and how that's most likely bolstered the stock market and what's going on there. Big companies, CEOs are jumping on every business cable news network and proclaiming how wonderful it is. And from a tax purpose, there's a lot of advantages to breaking down regulation barriers. But if you think about it, eliminating a lot of these visa policies is a form of regulation. It's basically telling these companies that you can't hire people outside of the US. And I don't understand, as a CEO of a Fortune 100 or Fortune 10 company, how you see that as being a good policy to make your company perform the way that you think it needs to perform.
Well, I just don't see it as being sustainable. It's hard to believe that even just Silicon Valley alone won't start to really feel the effects of this in the short term and start to put some, there's enough money and power there that I have to believe that some pressure is going to be put on to change this, because it's just so contradictory to our desire to stay competitive. It makes no sense. And to your earlier point, especially if we've already invested in these individuals, we've already had them be a part of our universities and, it could be incubator programs, accelerators, and then to send them away, it just makes no sense.
Yeah. And it's really, if you look at it another way, we're really funding another country's economy in a way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the United States is an incubator for new economies, which, might be a great model, and it might be something that we want to look at doing, but we should be doing that deliberately and proactively versus as a byproduct of a reactionary policy.
Yeah. So we want to hear how, if at all, these new policies have started to reshape the organizations that you work with, and if you're taking any measures to work around it or to counteract it, we just want to hear your feedback. So let us know in the comments, and also if there's anything that you think we should be discussing, let us know that too.
Yep. See you next week.
See you next week.